Why do we clutter our homes? What is it about stuff that we feel so attached that we can't let go? And more importantly, moving forward, how do we declutter effectively? Hi, my name's Rachel. I do videos about decluttering, minimalism, and my no spend year. Today I want to talk about why we clutter our homes and how we can effectively declutter. There's a reason why we consume so much. I've talked about this in a previous video. We are over advertised. We are told to buy things every season. We are told to buy new things, new clothing, new bits and pieces. There are advertisements everywhere. So it's really hard to not want to buy because it's driven into us, isn't it? It's made us feel like we have to have new on a regular basis, and that's just not viable. Like, cost wise, it's not viable. It's a very environmentally damaging way to live, and so our homes end up full of stuff, full of clutter, and it doesn't necessarily feel like there's too much because we get used to it. We get used to the things that are in our home that fill our spaces, and it becomes the norm. But what happens is that we can get to the point where our norm becomes unmanageable. And if you're finding it hard to clean, to tidy, to let go of anything, then that's when you're in that dangerous territory of too much clutter. And that's where we need to look at why we clutter and how to effectively reduce the amount of stuff that we have. So first, let's talk about the psychology of clutter. Clutter is essentially our attachment to stuff, and that happens for many reasons. It could be that you have grown up without a lot, and so you have bought things on offer, you've bought bargains that you think that you might need because you just don't know when you might be able to get it at that price, or again, because of your financial situation. So there's reasons behind why we clutter. We also think that actually it's important to try new things, to get caught up in new trends or new devices. And we end up kind of collecting the old, don't we? Because it might be useful down the line. So we have those just in case items that kind of hang around the home, potentially to be used maybe in 10 years' time. And it takes up space. When you have so much stuff around you, that takes up a lot of physical space in your home and also a lot of mental space in your ability to want to clean and tidy, because it can become overwhelming when there's so much stuff. Because when you're cleaning and tidying, you have to move that stuff to get to clean and tidy. So it just means that the jobs become bigger. And so our feelings around stuff become quite overwhelming quite quickly if they're not kept under control. We also have those sentimental items, don't we? Those items that are handed down or that are given to us from other people that might be useful to us because they used to use it for their children, etc. And so they become these sentimental items that we are just given, and we feel like we have to keep them because we didn't pay for them, but they were gifted, and a gift feels quite sentimental, that it's purposeful, it's meaningful. And so we find it really hard to part with those items as well. And also a lack of purpose can help build up those accumulations of things, because we just fill our homes with stuff that just might make us happy. It just ends up filling that moment of boredom and gives us that little spark of joy, but then it's short-lived and it ends up just being another thing that you've kind of got over the years that doesn't really add anything to your life. So psychologically, there are so many reasons why you might be hoarding things. And hoarding does sound like a very powerful word, but it's a journey, hoarding. If you think of decluttering and reducing your stuff is a journey, hoarding is also a journey. And to the point where you can call yourself a hoarder is like a fine line of how that journey is going. So it's important that we are also balancing collection of stuff as well as like decluttering of things as well. If you've enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and press like and subscribe. and then you'll be notified about when I upload my next videos. And every like, comment and share really does make a difference to how much it is viewed, and I'm really appreciating all the love right now, so thank you very much. We also have those societal influences on clutter. We are a consumer-driven society. We are always buying. We are always trying to have the latest trends, the latest things. People release new devices, new items that are like fashionable, and we kind of get caught up in that, don't we? Because we just don't know how to utilize what we've already got. We just are always craving that dopamine hit of that new thing. And along with that, we also have that fear of missing out, that you don't have the same as what everybody else has, or everybody else is buying these different things, and you feel like you're not getting that same joy because you're not buying those things. So we get caught up in that, don't we? So let's talk some effective decluttering strategies. So first, let's talk mindful decluttering. This is where your approach to decluttering is just about focusing on your purpose and your intention, and whether or not it's truly adding value to your life. If you think about the Marie Kondo method, it's all about what sparks joy, what's serving a purpose, and if it's not, we thank the item and we let it go, because it's not actually doing anything for us, it's just filling that space. Another effective strategy is focusing on one category at a time. This is where my little acts of decluttering come in, and this is a strategy that I developed that really helps you work on small little areas every single day, so you're building up that decluttering resilience, and it makes you feel more comfortable making those decisions about letting go, and it just means that you are still chipping away at those different areas in your home which you may not have thought of. You may not have thought to go through certain items like pet accessories or pet toys, or you may not have thought to go through sandals, etc. And I kind of map them out over the whole year, and I share a free PDF calendar that you can download from my website, declutteryourlife.co.uk. And it just means that you can follow along. And I also share on my social media channels at declutter.your.life a daily reminder. So there are options there to help you get those decluttering reminders. Another really important strategy that you're going to want to use whilst you're decluttering in each area is the 4-box method. And that's so that you can sort your items as you go into items to donate, to keep, to sell, and to recycle. And by following this method, you are then categorizing as you go. And if you have to stop at any point, they're already in neat, organized piles. I highly recommend bags or baskets or boxes to separate those items. Maybe not so much for the keep, because you're going to put those items back in that space. But the others, if you sort them out into different bags or boxes, it means that when you finish that area, you have then got that box or bag ready to take to the charity shop to donate. It's there, it's kind of organized in a way that allows you to just move those items on and be done. You also want to think about your digital decluttering and having a system in place that regularly reminds you to go through different areas. So like once a month or once a week, you just go through the last week's photos on your phone and just get rid of any duplicates, any blurries. So maybe any of those from those trigger happy moments where you're just taking too many pictures, and just reduce down to those core collective, or find an alternative way of storing them, maybe on a computer and transferring them, so that you're not taking up valuable space and you're regularly reflecting and sorting and organising. And a similar strategy that you could use for emails is just going through weekly or monthly, just going through, deleting anything that's not relevant, so that you are freeing up space, so you're not cluttered by lots of things when you're trying to look for something. So it's just having systems in place that kind of really work. And as you're decluttering, you'll start to develop a minimalist mindset. It doesn't mean that you have to go full minimalist mode, but you are going to start realising what you consume and how much you consume, and it will make you think differently when you're purchasing. It will make you reflect a little bit more about whether or not you're really going to use it and whether or not it's really going to serve a purpose for you. So use that as an opportunity to develop those skills and a better understanding as to what you really need over what you want. Decluttering is not just about that moment of decluttering, it's about maintenance as well. You want to think about maintaining that clutter to keep it at bay. And that's something that I'm now working on after decluttering my home a couple of times. I'm now in maintenance mode, and that means that I just go back over areas, I check through and just make sure that I am not keeping things that I really don't need. So a few ideas that you can use for this are having a one in, one out policy. So if you're happy with your wardrobe and it's got to a place that you have got a manageable amount of stuffs, maybe when you buy something new, that means that you have to let go of something in a similar category out of your wardrobe so that you're maintaining the number. And the same goes for a number of different things. If you get a new water bill come through, maybe it's time to let go of the old one, just so that you are maintaining that level of stuff. So hopefully you found this interesting, and hopefully it's motivated you to start thinking about reducing the amount of stuff that you buy and also reducing the stuff in your home. So think about where you're going to start decluttering. Are you going to follow along with the little acts? Are you going to use those reminders to help you, or are you just going to focus on a room at a time? Start working through and let me know in the comments below how you get on with your decluttering. I'd love to know about your journey and where you're hoping to get to, what your motivators are, what your end vision is, because that will really help you keep going. I shall be back for more videos on decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year very soon. Take care. Bye.